Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me again for our worship on a Wednesday. Now today our theme is about togetherness and connectedness. Could you pause the video here and have a chat about what do you think togetherness means and connectedness means? Now I'd like you to watch the video straight away. Have a watch of our story about Aesop's fable of the lion and the mouse, and join me back here in a minute. So, in our story, there were two characters, weren't there? Which character do we usually think of as the strongest and the mightiest? Pop your hand up and let your teacher know. Now, in our story, did the lion need the mouse more, or did the mouse need the lion more? Have a think and have a chat and see what you come up with. Do you think the lion and the mouse needed each other at the same time? Was it as easy and as simple as that? That they both had a moment of need and they thought, perfect, I need to have a little sit on you and you need to be rescued exactly the same time? No. Have a think about, is that the same with people? The same with us? Have you and your friend always got into a problem at the same time? Has someone in your family needed your help and your support at exactly the same time that you need their support and their help? No. Things happen at different times, don't they? Things happen to us in different points in our life, different points in school, different points at home. Lots of different things happen at lots of different times. Now, do you have to be helpful to someone and kind to someone only if they're kind to you? Is that how kindness works and togetherness works? Pause here and have a think. I think those will be some really good ideas from what discussions I hear that you've been having from your teachers. So well done, everyone. Yeah, we didn't think, I hope you didn't think, that you could only be there for someone if they were there for you back at exactly the same time. Because that's not really how life works, is it? We need to make sure that we are spotting if someone needs our support and our help. Because as a school, we are a community. As a village, we are a community. As a family, you are a community. And part of being part of a bigger group of people, like your friendship group, like your family, not just your family who you live with, but your wider family if you have any contact with them, part of your class, part of the whole school, part of the whole village, part of England, part of the United Kingdom, part of the world. Now, what's so important of being part of those big groups isn't that we only help each other when we can get that help straight back. Isn't that we only look out for one another and support one another with words or with actions, as we've been talking about in the other worships. Not just if that person can straight away show us their thanks or straight away help us back. Because tricky things don't work like that, do they? We can't plan all of our challenges at the same time. Can you have a chat in your groups or with your partner, or just popping your hand up for your teachers, about when do you think we might be able to support someone? At what point can we spot that someone might need a bit of help, or might need us to look out for them, might need us to check in on them, might need us to do something kind, might need us to show that we are there for them, or ask them if they need anything from us, or a very important one, to tell somebody else, a grown-up, that we've noticed that we think they need some help? What signs do you think you could spot for when somebody needs a bit of help with those things? Well done, guys. I think those would be really lovely answers. Well done for discussing quite a difficult thing to think about. Now, if we were in worship together, I'd have these actual things to give to you, but because we're doing it over a screen, I'm gonna pretend hand them to you. So, hands up if you're hungry. Okay. I'm giving whoever you choose teachers an egg. Here you go. An egg just for you. Ooh, who else had their hand up? Here is a bag of flour. Here you go. Flour for you. Okay. I'm going to give one more person, I'm going to give them a bag of sugar. There you go. Perfect. Now, those people who have got those ingredients, can you let me know if you want to eat those on their own? Do you want to eat just a raw egg? Would you like to eat a whole bag of flour if that's what you're holding? Would anybody like to eat an entire bag of sugar just on its own? I think not, unless you're into some very strange foods. What could we do with all of those separate ingredients then? Can you tell your teacher? Now I hope that some of you came up with the idea that we could combine those ingredients, those different things, the eggs and the flour and the sugar. We could pop them in a big mixing bowl, mix them together and make a cake. Now if we were in worship, this is where I would go, ta-da, a cake! But you just have to pretend. This beautiful, beautiful cake I made here, spent hours on it. So why have I done that exercise with you? Why have I tried to make you eat a raw egg and a bag of flour? What might I be trying to show you? Pause the video here and have a chat. So I hope you've come to the conclusion that we each have something different to bring to our community, to our group, a little tiny group, and sometimes an even bigger group. We've got lots of different things we can bring. But if we only rely on ourselves, if we only think about that egg that we have, we can't get very far with it, can we? We can't make our lives something incredible and tasty with just our one ingredient. When we have challenges, and we face difficulties, we face struggles, whether that's at school or at home, or difficulties with what's going on outside in the bigger world. If we only rely on ourselves, we only think about our one little ingredient, it doesn't quite work, does it? Not as well as if we work together and each bring our little ingredient to the table, bring our skills, bring our kindness and our support with each other, and join that all together. When we face a challenge, it feels really difficult. It feels really tricky. If we try and face that challenge all on our own, sometimes that's not quite enough, is it? If we come together and we support people who need help during a challenge, if we get support from people when we face a challenge, we can work together and make these challenges a little bit easier. Now my friend's grandma had a very good saying that I like to think about when I see a challenge and I think, this is too hard. This is something that I feel is a huge challenge. Now, my friend's grandma said, eat the elephant in tiny chunks. If we've got a problem, we've got something we're worried about, we've got something that's making us feel a little bit sad, a little bit worried, that we're not sure how to face it. We don't have to eat that elephant all in one go. We don't have to run headfirst into that challenge all on our own. We can cut that elephant into little bits. We can eat each little chunk of the elephant until all of the elephant is gone. We don't have to eat those chunks on our own. The people in our community around us can help us to break that challenge down into bits that are manageable, into bits that we can work together to overcome that challenge together. Now, I'd like you to have a discussion as a class or in your pairs or with your teacher, as always, up to your teachers, about some challenges we might face that are easier when we come together and support one another, and what support might look like. Because it's not just answering someone's maths test questions for them. That's not giving support, is it? I wonder if you can have a chat. When might a challenge be really solved properly if we can do it together with support? And what could support look like? Before we go, I just want to make sure that we know that we can choose a trusted adult to talk to if we notice that we're feeling like we need some support, that we need somebody to help us with our challenge, whether that's a challenge about school, a challenge about home, a challenge with your friends or your family, or just that you're not feeling quite right. And that you can talk to a trusted adult if you spot that somebody else needs a little bit of support. If you spot that someone needs help, your friend or someone in your family, talk to a trusted adult. Remember how we say in my class, if we have a problem and we talk about it and we share it with someone, it stays this small. We can look at it, we can fix it together, and it's gone. If we don't talk about it, if we don't tell someone that we need a little bit of support, or we've spotted that our friend needs somebody to go and check on them, that problem's going to get humongous. So we want to make sure that we're keeping these problems as little as can be. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you after the Easter holidays. Bye bye.